2020 has indeed been an interesting year for me. Back in March, when we began to shut down, I was helping people navigate this pandemic every day. 8 o'clock in the morning, I was on Facebook Live, inspiring people to just continue to walk by faith, right? We're supposed to walk by faith and not by fear. But on the last Friday in August, I found myself feeling like my world was turning upside down. I worked out at a gym that morning, 5 o'clock. By 7 o'clock that night, here it is, I'm sweating profusely, I'm aching in my body, and I just know that something is not right. So I waited until Sunday to go to the doctor. I went to urgent care, and they did 2 tests. They did one for influenza and one for COVID. Influenza came back in 15 minutes, and it said that I tested negative for influenza. So I knew then that I probably was going to test positive for the coronavirus. Tuesday, they called me back and told me that I did test positive for the virus. And I began to just feel like my world is turning upside down, because here it is, I've been helping people all summer long, and I'm clergy, and God, I've been praying to you, and I know that I'm not supposed to have this virus. But the psychological toll that it played on me began to weigh down upon me and just put me in a place of darkness and a place of loneliness. Even though I had my wife taking great care of me, I'm quarantined, living in my basement, and every day I'm looking at social media, seeing people post about loved ones that had contracted the virus and they needed prayer for them, only to find out 3 days later that they passed away from the same thing that I had. And I began to just ask God, like, God, am I wavering in my faith? Because here it is, I'm somewhat afraid. I believe you, God, but I'm still somewhat afraid. Well, this is when I found out that it was love that God had given me to conquer the fear that I was wrestling with. Everyone kept saying, oh, God didn't give us the spirit of fear. But what did he give us? He gave us love, power, and a sound mind. So I realized that my fear that I had, it wasn't that it didn't mean that I didn't have faith. It really just meant that that's where I was. It was a real moment. But I didn't hold on to my fear. I began to let God hold on to me with my faith. And that's why now my testimony is that faith is not about us being able to have this strong grip on God. My faith tells me that my God has a strong grip on me. And while I was wrestling with that coronavirus and I was healing, I could hear God saying, I still love you. I loved you before you had the virus, and I love you now. I pray my testimony helps someone out there who may have had some loved ones who are wrestling with the virus, or maybe you yourself. Maybe it's not the coronavirus, but maybe it's something else you're dealing with. I want you to know that God loves you so much that he's holding on to you. And whatever God holds on to, nobody can pluck them out of his hands.